See, makes a difference, no? Um, so that is me. I basically put this slide up because I like this picture of me. I have nothing else to say about this slide. No, but this is the first time I've got a picture clicked of myself, which sort of resonates with the kind of work that I do, and it's something a little different. It's uh, so anyway, so this is me sort of testing the light, and then we got this with the bride and the groom. Uh, Yeah, a quick tidbit when you're shooting in sort of harsh light, then always position your subject a little sideways, and then just adds a little more structure to the image. I live in Bangalore with my wife and my dog and my now daughter, who's 16 months old, and I like spending a lot of time with them, and that's basically a lot of decisions that I've made with regards to the weddings I shoot, things I do, is based on that. So, for instance, I don't like taking up destination weddings. I don't fancy destination weddings. I don't know. I don't. It's too much strain, too much alcohol, too much everything. But yeah, but so I like my life in Bangalore. It's quite a nice, fun life. I click a lot of pictures of the both of them. I don't do personal projects. Everyone tells you to do personal projects and stuff. Like I'm too lazy as a photographer. So I basically shoot them if and when I get time. But I mean, I actually have time, but I don't. Uh, but yeah, but home is sort of where my heart is, and I try and spend as much time as I can with them. The team, I want to talk about my team because they're super integral to everything I do. All the decisions I've made, every single wedding that I shoot, the way we shoot, everything, and I owe it all to these guys. And I have a team of basically one person who works with me. Her name's Ayushi. She's not here. Uh, and Raj, who so I got married in 2012, and Joseph Radhik shot my wedding, and that's basically the reason I got into wedding photography. Um, if Joseph was here, I would have said that yeah, he delivered the pictures and they were just okay. So I said I can do better than that. But uh, but Joseph shot this wedding along with Raj and a couple of other guys, and Raj happened to be from Bangalore, which is where I'm from. So the first thing I did once I got back was gave him a call, and I said, "Dude, uh, let's give this a shot. I mean, I'm interested. Give me a call when you're shooting a wedding." And that's how I sort of stepped into the world of wedding photography. So the first wedding I shot was with Raj, and the last wedding which we shot last week was with Raj. So I've invested a lot of time and effort in. I mean, not only me but him as well. But we've invested a lot of time in this relationship, and like I said, I spend more time with him than my wife. He's like, yeah, he knows me more than probably my wife does, but it's the way it goes. Uh, so yeah, so the first Sangeet I ever attended was my own. I was saying this. I got into wedding photography thinking I could do Joseph Radhik better than Joseph Radhik himself. Uh, and I was true. It was true. I did it. Sorry. Uh, no, but before that, I was a good Indian kid. I did everything my parents expected of me. I was an engineer. I had an IT job. I went abroad, worked abroad. Um, yeah, they were very happy with me. But then this sort of, I got married, and then I said, let me try and do something else. And I have this problem with, getting bored very easily. So, funny story. People ask me, like, and you hear this all the time, right? Like when you're shooting weddings, it's great that you followed your passion and stuff like that. Frankly speaking, photography is not really my passion. I just enjoyed doing this more than anything else I have. And so it's been like that for the last 5, 6 years, and hopefully it'll continue to be so. But before I got into weddings, I used to do a little bit of photography. I had a camera, I had a lens, I had a basic knowledge of photography, and I tried my hand at everything. I shot flowers, animals, but I had no patience for wildlife. But the only thing that interested me was people, and I generally like I'm a I'm an extroverted person. I like talking to people. I like hanging around with people. So I started doing portraits of friends and their kids, and I just I mean, found a white wall and put up a light and just Google stuff and shot these images, and they were they let me do this. But this was sort of my first foray into commercial photography. Uh, Anyways, so that's that. So like I said, 2013, 2012, I got married. Late 2012, 2013, uh, a friend of mine approached me and said, Nikhil, will you shoot my wedding? And Joseph had just delivered the pictures then, and I was like, full pumped, and I said, yeah, I can do this. And so I said yes. And um, and the wedding was in August. She approached me in Feb, so I had like 5 6 months to figure out how to do this. um, and basically, uh, even like now, when people approach me, they keep telling me that I have this unique style or a unique voice, or and I've never really understood the concept of a unique style or a unique voice because I don't know what it is. It keeps evolving. Maybe I don't know what it is, but this is sort of my attempt at this was an attempt at answering that question, that what is my unique voice. So in doing so, I sort of figured out that these are the steps that I've taken to get to where I am now. There are certain learnings that I've things that I've learned in the past 5 years, some conversations that I've had with myself, and I'm just going to walk you through those. um, and this is a super frank, open talk. So, yeah. The first thing was, yeah, so Feb of 2013, I had to develop a skill set. I had to figure out how to actually end up shooting a wedding. Um, and the first thing I did was copy. I literally directly copied everyone I thought at that time was a good photographer. So it was, I remember trying to emulate Varun Suresh, Richa Kashelkar, Joseph Radek, Hoffer, all these guys. And but the easy bit was to, figure out whom to copy. But the tough part was to figure out what to copy. So I didn't want to sort of directly imitate their style per se, but I wanted to figure out the thinking behind that style. I didn't want my images to look like their images, but I wanted to understand how they see their when they shoot an image. So that's how sort of I kind of taught myself to learn the basics maybe of wedding photography. I was also very, very clear about what I liked and what I disliked. And then I had this very, not in a harsh way, but a very use and throw approach. So I was done with Varun, Chuck Varun, bring on Richa. Richa. Okay, so that was my, and then I picked things from each one, which sort of have helped in developing my style to what it is right now. Um, this is a fact. I think so. Everyone copies everyone, but in between, you sort of figure out your style. Copying from one person is basically plagiarism, but copying from multiple sources is originality. So, um, the other thing was, yes, to school yourself. I mean, I'm a parent now, so I'm guessing I'm going to be telling my kid this, but it's super important to. I mean, school is one thing, but to educate yourself into what you're doing. I sound like a parent here, right? Like a big daddy or something, but it's true. Like we have to want to learn, right? Like you should have this inherent curiosity to know everything. Like Google everything. I remember in the first PEP conference that we had, Anup Katukaran spoke about Google being his best friend. But yeah, Google everything. Attend workshops. It's a lot of fun. You'll definitely learn something. But try and learn as much as you can. So these were sort of the first two steps that I took to educate myself on how to kind of become a wedding photographer. It was a lot of trial and error. You try and do this for a while, and then you get better at it, and then you reach a stage where you've sort of saturated. You're getting the same stuff again and again and again, and then that boredom kicks in again, and then you say, what else can I do? What else can I do to expand my skill set? What else can I do to establish this so-called voice? So uh, these are a few things that I've realized over a period of time. One is stop being fearful. And no one better than my daughter's image here. But yeah, stop being fearful. Stop worrying about failing. Take as many risks as you can in life, because when you take those risks, you might just find something unique. You might just create something out of the ordinary. Um, so inherently, I sort of like challenging myself to not recreate what I've done in the past. And So there's like every shoot I go to, every sort of yeah, there's always this urge to do something new, and then this urge won't see fruition, right, if you don't take risks. So yeah, do it. In a real world scenario, probably I take the most risks when I'm shooting couple portraits. That's where I have the most sort of control over everything. Um, and I'm not like I never take safe shots. I never tell a couple to look at each other, look at the camera, and smile. And I don't think I've ever delivered a shot like that, or at least in the recent past. Um, I think last year I shot this wedding. She's a fellow wedding photographer. Her name is Mahima Bhatia, and we shot this wedding. She's from Delhi. She has a bunch of these Delhi photographer friends, right? So, and there were like 15 of them that come with multiple cameras, and everyone was shooting. And so we went for this 30-45 minute session, and after her cocktails, and these are the two images that I delivered to them. That's all, nothing else. We spent 30-45 minutes, but in doing so, you get to see these two images, but there are multiple, many failed attempts at trying to create something like this. You might like the image, you might not like it, but it's different. At least you can give it that. So you have to be okay with failing. When you've got nothing to lose, you can get something completely unlikely, yeah, something unique. Uh, but how do I get this? How am I confident in, uh, you know, in being in this so-called very bubble where I can do this, I can take these risks. Um, Actually, the single most important thing which defines my style or my voice is the relationship that I share with my clients. Um, this access that they give me, and the trust that they bestow on me is the only reason I can do what I do. Uh, I got into wedding photography to have fun, and that's basically what I told myself. The first day I said, I quit my job and I said I'm going to do this for the rest, or not rest of my life, however long I like it. Was that I'll have fun, and every wedding that I take up, the only checkbox it needs to tick is that it's going to be a fun wedding. Um, yeah, that is the only prerequisite for a wedding. I don't shoot big weddings. I don't shoot fancy weddings. I don't travel to Jodhpur and Jaipur every other week, or Thailand. I shoot in Bangalore and Hyderabad, and I shoot in horrible mandapams and things like that. But they're nice people, and that means more to me than the riches and the. Not saying that rich people are not nice. There are, but I'm just saying these people somehow find me. It's also basically because maybe that's the sort of person I am. Like, I'm a very middle class upbringing, and I feel more comfortable in my own surroundings, and I find it easier shooting and connecting with those people. So that, um, so yeah, so build confidence. If I had to elaborate on this, then this sort of starts off at a very early stage, right? Right from the time I get in an inquiry. The first step is, so I'm very bad with WhatsApp and emails and stuff like that. Like I'm horrible at communication post a wedding, because like my clients hate me post the wedding, uh, but when I'm going to make money out of it, then I'm really nice. Uh, so the first thing I do is call them. I try and see if we can get on a call or a Skype or something like that, and I just talk. I try to understand. You know, I mean, I just want to talk to them. That's all. I want to know their interests, their what they do for work. I don't care about love and stuff. I'm not a romantic, so I don't care about that. But everything else under the sun. And even when I send across, and I respond to them, it's the first act is to send them my work so that they know what they're in for. I even take like they'll and I tell them on the call that I'm going to send you my work. Please take 3 days, share it with everyone. And it's important that your parents like it. Everyone likes it, but I want everyone to see my work. And then we'll talk about the commercials. The money is the last aspect of it. And then they'll come back and they'll be like, yeah, we've seen your work. We really like it. And we want you to send me a quote. And then I'll still sometimes wait for a day or two if I'm not convinced. And then once they get back, then I'll send them a quote. And then hopefully things work. But yeah, but that's, yeah, I need absolutely, yeah, like for instance, we even shoot like pujas for free, like small home pujas and stuff like that, just so I can spend time with them. And this is not just me, this is the whole team. Like everyone's involved from the get-go. Like from the first call on, they know who's shooting the wedding. They know them as people and not like two people who just turn up on the wedding day. And that's super important. Um, Complete trust in my team. I'd spoken about this before, but I trust them completely. Like 4 years or 5 years I've been shooting with them. I know every single shot that they're going to take. I mean, I know their heartbeat. So it becomes very easy for, say, for me to, try something different because I know they're getting the so-called safe shots, so they're doing justice to the client's needs and wants. Um, Super picture by Raj. Uh, Next, so how do you continue on this path of uh, being unique? We as people are a sum of all the influences that we surround ourselves with, right? You can pick the music you listen to, you can pick the movies you watch, you can pick the games you play, you can pick the books you read, the food you eat, whatever, but you're a mashup of all that. You're a remix of all that you see and hear and smell. And um, but so the idea is to sort of surround yourself with with stuff that makes sense to you. There is no good photography and bad photography, in my opinion. There's no good work and bad work. There's just like it's just a perception. There's just work you can learn from, work you have learned from, and you've put it aside. Work you can learn from, and then you keep it. And when once you're done with that, and then keep it aside again. And that's all it is. So that, yeah, so do that. Try and keep updating your influences. Try and find new inspirations here and there. It'll do a sea of good, and it'll change the way you see things. um, the art of unseeing. uh, Nothing personal, but I made this conscious decision about a year and a half ago of just unfollowing every wedding photographer that I just followed, because you know they were there, and they were in a part with, they were in the community. And um, again, like it isn't something personal. It isn't that their work isn't good or isn't great. It is, but it's just it didn't mean much to me. I could be seeing the image day in day out, but it wasn't much I was learning from it. So I made this conscious decision of unfollowing everyone. um, there are other art forms, other genres of photography that we can learn a lot from, and see if it makes sense to you. See if you find something unique there. See if you can learn something from that. And subconsciously, what tends to happen is you'll think a lot more when you pick up the camera. you'll nudge your brain and to make an effort to think differently. So you'll work will transform. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't know why this slide's there. So we'll just break for like a minute. I spoke about Mahima and Harsh's wedding, and I just want to showcase a slideshow here of their wedding. Um, Thank you. Thank you. So this is basically the first deliverable that goes out to every client of mine. I do a slideshow, and I use the power of music to sort of hold back on. uh, yeah, but this is what we sent to her, and yeah, you see all the photographers there. Yeah. Anyways, so the art of photography. Well, I got into this field, like I was saying earlier, not to do a 9 to 5 job. It was basically, um, and that is, it was to have fun, and that's how I've based my whole, built the whole business around that. We don't, I mean, we, even when we work, right? Like there are hard days, there are tough days, but uh, it's a very like casual, chilled out atmosphere throughout. There's no tension, there's no pressure. We I, like I mean, we try and maintain deadlines, but we're not stressed about it. There's no stress in our life. I don't want stress. Like if we're delaying something, then we just call the couple and say, "I'm sorry." Like what else can go wrong, right? Like yeah, and they're fine with it because of this whole relationship that I've built with them. Yeah, so it's fine. And yeah, so like I was saying, I'm a personal photographer. I'm not a professional one. I don't do anything very professionally. If you take business tips from me, then I mean, you shouldn't, basically. Uh, yeah, this I love this guy. Do you guys follow? Have you heard of Rodney Smith? Follow him. Like it's brilliant. But he said photography is one part of the equation. Be more personal, and that's very true. Finding your voice, we already tackled it, but this is a constant journey that we need to sort of. Yeah, it's a constant journey which will keep evolving, right? So uh, like I was saying, uh, I figured out a way to sort of expand that skill set that I developed, and then I'll get bored with that again, and then I have to expand that again, and it's just yeah, and then I'll probably quit photography after a couple of years. uh, yeah, shoot how it feels. This is so most. I've spoken to a few brides and grooms. This is before my time as a wedding photographer, and whenever they were not happy with their wedding pictures, the only reason for that was because it didn't portray what they felt at the wedding. And for you to shoot or for you to showcase how they felt at the wedding, then you have to feel what they are feeling. And which is why I say it's very important to build that connect with the client, to be a personal photographer, and just to be there. Like if you are emotionally attached to the subject you're shooting, then make a whole world of difference to the images that you create. There's another thing I wanted to talk about here, which is yeah, which is about the way we shoot, right? So Raj, Ayushi, and I, uh, we'll end up like three of us shooting. We usually end up with anywhere from about 25 to 35,000 pictures for a wedding, for a 2 day wedding. Yeah, it's a lot of pictures, but this shooting a wedding is a funny thing, right? Like it's um like there's so much weight involved in, and there's so much thinking involved in being in the right place at the right time, and just noticing everything that's happening. But it's like a sinusoidal wave, right? So you wait, you wait, you wait, you wait, you wait, and then something happens, right? But shoot through the ecstasy of the moment, like and a lot of us make this mistake, and I used to make this mistake as well. And you're there, someone's smiling, and then you're shooting, and then you've got the shot, and then you stop. Don't ever stop. Just shoot. Like let those people separate and go their different ways. That's when your work is done. Because you never know what's going to happen, right? The all we can do is be in the right place, and once you're there, then the only job you have to do is click, man. That's the easiest part of it, right? So just do it. these Lani and Erica, right? Uh, they talk about shooting at a wedding, like buying lottery tickets. Like you're never going to buy one lottery ticket and hope you're going to win, right? You're going to buy all your life. You're going to keep buying tickets, and that's the way it is. So you keep buying these tickets, and then you will find something in that. Train your eye to see things the way a camera does. Yeah, like so I mean, this is a difficult sort of concept to fathom, but the only way I got around this is by shooting in black and white. So whenever I shoot in black and white. So the only thing I'm concentrating on is the highlights and the shadows, and that's it. And try it out. It's amazing. Then composition, know the rules to break the rules. I mean, this has been said lots of times. The one thing I see people don't do is crop their photos. Yeah, I mean, you do, Peach. Yeah. But no, but a lot of them, like Varun Suresh, doesn't crop his photos, and a lot of people don't crop their photos. Just crop them. They make it so much better. Crop your photos. Yeah, composition. Know the rules to break the rules. I mean, this is basically in life. It's a general rule. You got to know the rules and then break them, and then you'll have some fun in life. Um, this has been said throughout: get low, get high, get close, get far. Do it. Shoot to the exterior of the moment. I said this. Camera settings. Camera. So I started shooting with a Fuji in October of last year, and it has advantages and stuff. But the biggest advantage for me is how small it is, and I constantly found myself getting closer to subjects, and the subjects being okay with it. Um, So I mean, all cameras are great. It's true. It's not that you're going to create something completely different just because you have a Fuji in your hand, but it just helps with yeah, it just helps with doing that. That's the way it's helped me. So I'd give it a shot. It's a nice camera.